Hi, everybody. It's a Friday. It is Friday, January 3rd. And some of the topics, college football, National Football League, chocolate-covered cherry day. Let's let that sink in. I don't know what it's like where you are. It's a snowy day here in the Ohio Valley. And we have producer extraordinaire Jordan here with us. And she didn't know that she was going to be on. She was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But we watched college football yesterday, or a lot of people watched college football yesterday. Impressions of the Notre Dame-Georgia game. Jordan, what did you think? What were your first takeaways from that game? Were you impressed by Notre Dame, disappointed by Georgia, or a combination of both? And did you like the walk-on player interfering in the game?
That kid is going to get cut. He may not
have to switch schools.
He's going to get cut.
Yeah.
I thought that I knew Georgia was going to lose.
Okay. All right. You did say that yesterday. You thought Georgia wasn't going to be,
In my opinion of what I know, I had a feeling that Georgia was going to lose, not having their quarterback, and they had a lot of injured players. So
yeah, they did. They did have a lot of injured players. Notre Dame had a few injured players. One of the captains that came out, he was in street clothes. One of their top defensive linemen out. So it's one of those things where you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know exactly what was going to happen in terms of the play from the backup quarterback for Georgia. And he played all right at the start of the game.
Right.
And then I think one of the critical mistakes in the entire game was it was 10-10 to no, it wasn't. It was 6-0 or 6-3. And then they get the fumble. There was about 40 seconds left in the half, and they got the sack. The ball came loose. Notre Dame recovered it. Then they threw a touchdown pass on the next play. Back to the walk-on. He didn't help. They could have been. Maybe they get a touchdown of that. Maybe they don't.
That kid is never going to live that down. I'm sorry.
And
he really
ASP,
screwed up.
Not that ESPN or ABC
for not even being on the field, like for not even playing, for that to not count.
And I know this as fact because when I played at the University of Miami, I played on the baseball team. I know this is fact as I knew a guy that was a walk-on for the Miami football team. And the big thing, I said, why do you do it? I mean, he was just beat up and the whole thing. And he was trying to pledge a fraternity. So he came into the CAF one day to have lunch. He had black eyes from not getting enough sleep. Plus he was practicing. And this guy was not big. I'm thinking, and I was like, what position you play? He said, running back. And I'm thinking, you are just getting the snot beat out of you by some of the best players in the country every day at practice. And I said, is it worth it? He goes, I get to dress out on Saturday home games.
Yeah.
And then the bowl game, you get to go to the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
So I guarantee you this kid's thinking the same thing. I'm on the Georgia team. I'm listed on the roster. I get to dress out at home games. I get to go to the bowl game. I'm at the Sugar Bowl.
I know, but
you can't hit the referee.
The best part was when you see like they show Kirby Smart, he's like, back up.
That's not exactly what he said.
Right. Right.
It didn't take, if you were a lip reader, it didn't take much skill to figure out exactly what he was saying. But
it was it was bad.
It was not good. Notre Dame, every time they needed to make a big play, seemed like they made it. And how about the one formation where they came out there, we set up the punt, and then they sent everybody off?
Oh, that I've never seen that ever.
And Kirby Smart was like, what are we doing? You can't do that. And the refs were like, yeah, you can do it. So Notre Dame gets the win, the Fighting Irish, and love them or hate them. And that's pretty much the street you walk on if you're Notre Dame. It's, either people love you or they can't stand you. But the one thing they have done is maybe shaken off the reputation that in the postseason, at least under Brian Kelly, they struggled, could not win a game and would get blown out by everybody. They'd go down, okay, we're going to play Alabama, Notre Dame, Alabama, traditional big-time schools in Alabama, just thump them.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's okay. They were at home. They played Indiana. Boom, took care of the Hoosiers. They go to play Georgia, SEC team, and everyone's the SEC stuff. That's also becoming a thing. People either love or hate the SEC now because they had so much success, and people are like, I'm tired of hearing about the SEC.
Yeah.
There's got to be some other teams. So just interesting. But Notre Dame looked good. I thought they looked good. So now they play Penn State, and that's going to be something interesting. And my son Ian, who also works here at the station, knows Jordan very well. And
he's not talking to me for a week.
He's not talking to you for a week because Penn State and Notre Dame are going to play. He's a big Notre Dame fan. So Ron says, we are all dancing to Sweet Home Alabama by Skinner. I hope we are 50-point underdogs all year next year. Michigan man throwing some heat at Jordan. But so anyway, so you have Penn State and Notre Dame, and you have Ohio State, and they'll be playing Texas. So the SEC down to one team, Big Ten with two.
Wait, you know how we looked up the tickets for we got to look up the Orange Bowl now.
Oh, the Orange Bowl. I'll tell you what, two fan bases that are going to travel.
Oh,
because here's the deal.
Hey, we're going to Miami.
Yeah, go to Miami. Hey, Benvenidos on Miami. Yeah. What am I? Oh, speaking of Ohio State, just to make mention of this. Speaking of Ohio State, let's go. Big Ohio State fan. I watched part of the game with last night. Stopped by. Mike Biasi, the leader of the pack up at Valley Converting. Huge Ohio State fan. Could be an Ohio State alum. He's Mr. Buckeye. He loves his Buckeyes. And they are going to be playing in a national semifinal. But right now, of course, we know Valley Converting and Mike Biasi up in the Gem City, T-Town, Toronto, Ohio, as the man that takes care of recycling issues for your paper products. He'll take care of you. Just give him a call.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
I want to thank Mike and the crew up at Valley Converting for all they do for the 9-minute fill-up. We greatly appreciate it. And again, if you have paper products that you're looking to recycle, looking to get rid of, and maybe you don't want to just put them in the trash because it might be medical records, they might be financial records, and you want to recycle them so no one will ever see them again, but you can give them a new life as something new, a piece of cardboard or paper or whatever. You throw them in the beater, and they will just turn into pulp. So go up and check it with Mike. And right now we got Ron checking in again, and let's see what Ron's got going here on the college football scene. All right, Ron, Texas don't have much traveling to do. Not at all. All right, Ron, and I'll ask Jordan this as well. It seems like the teams, it doesn't seem like it, actually they did. They struggled. The teams with buys struggled. They all got beat. So the question is it good to be one of the top four seeds?
Maybe not.
Because that's the thing. I mean, it was basically 3 weeks of being off before they got to play, and the other teams got to play. And like I said yesterday, if you don't get injuries, it's an advantage because you stay sharp. And it wouldn't matter if even it was a pro team. It's difficult. It's difficult to do that, to take that much time off and then come back and be in sharp right away. And then how about, you get a new quarterback that's starting. Marty checking in. How about them Irish? And he is a big Irish fan. And Marty, biggest question of the day for you: are you going to Miami to watch the Irish of Notre Dame?
This is what I think. We're packing up. We're going.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not? You get the tickets. What did you say, Jordan? Cheapest tickets, $219.
$299 was the
$299.
cheapest. I'm
All right.
trying to find them.
The big question is either how long it takes to drive that far from the Ohio Valley, or what's the cost of a flight. And it's a Thursday.
I won't be driving if I'm going.
It's a Thursday night game.
Right.
Why is it a Thursday?
We can fly
game?
Thursday morning.
Yeah, I know, but why a Thursday night game?
I know.
I mean, come on. That's not right. I have to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. So does Jordan. So, but let's see. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Kansas City, they can have as many weeks off as they want. They seem like they still come back and win. But they have Patrick Mahomes. All right, there you go. Marty's ready. Down and back in the day.
Let's do it.
I say we're all in. But
seriously, you could fly early in the morning. We would just have to. Well, I guess we could technically fly Black Friday. It'd just be really, really late flight.
By the way, I'm just taking in the look of my fleece zip up. I think it looks pretty nice. And I wore the appropriate tie with the.
It does match. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Marty will do the Phill-Up for us if we go.
All right.
We can do the Phill-Up.
We can do it live on
Miami.
location.
We can do the Phill-Up live from the Orange Bowl.
All right. Well, and Ron's got to come too, though, because Ron's always got all the hot takes. He's got all the best takes. He's always.
Everybody is invited to the Phill-Up.
Yeah.
In
Anybody
Miami.
that wants to show up. Well, I think now Ian, Mr. Notre Dame football, he's already told me. He said, "Dad, we're going. We're going." He goes, "We're going. National championship game. We're going." I said, "We're going." I said, where are we getting these tickets from? And what do we do? He goes, "We'll figure it out. We're going." So if you see me camping out outside of the Mercedes Dome or whatever they call it, Mercedes-Benz Arena. I don't know. What is it?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Yeah. It'll be okay. Here we go. The Phill-Up, the Medivic takeover. There
Yes.
you go. Absolutely. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. I'll tell you what, some of the games have been really good. Some of the games, not so much.
Wait, who won last night?
Oh, Ole Miss or Duke?
Yeah, Ole Miss probably, right?
I'll tell you what a fiasco in the first part of that game.
I didn't watch. I
watched a little bit. They had Ole Miss came out in a formation to kick a field goal. First drive of the game. This was just horrific. It's 0-0. It's the first drive of the game.
Oh, that score is, yeah.
And what was his final?
52-20.
Oh, yeah, and it may not have been that close. But all right, the Medivic takeover. Here we go. Me, Will, and the Colonel.
Yes.
Colonel.
No, the Colonel's not invited.
The Colonel's not invited.
I'm just
wow,
kidding.
The Colonel's been cut off the list. All right. But yeah, it sounds like a good try. Ron, are you in? We haven't heard back from you. We need to know if we're making reservations for you.
Are we getting flights?
Yeah, are we getting? What are we doing? We gotta get this figured out. So, anyways, Ole Miss, they come out. They're gonna kick a field goal. It's gonna be like a 25, 30-yard field goal, something like that. Simple enough, right? So they come out. They have the entire line to the left-hand side of the field, over on the number on the number for the left side of the field. Then they have one player in the middle by himself. Then they have the center and the center and the kicker and the holder over on the other numbers. And I'm like, what in the world are they doing? So, it's like, just kick the field goal. It's nothing. It's the first 4 minutes of the game. What are we doing?
Yeah.
They break out a trick play. So they snap the ball. It goes directly to the kicker. The kicker rolls out to his right. So he's going to the short side of the field. So the sideline's already a tackler now. So he's running over there. Now they've got basically one guy in the pattern. He runs over. Now he's covered by 5 guys. So, and then the kid, not bright enough. Not. I don't want to cast any aspersions on his acuity for football knowledge or anything like that. But if 5 guys are covering one guy, your chances of completing the pass, not good.
Not good. Yeah.
He throws it right to the guy
and
runs it back. But here's the deal: Duke gets it, runs it back like 70 yards to the 30, and then they give the ball away. And then all of a sudden it was a bing bing. It was 14-0, and I was like, "This game's already over."
Yeah.
So it's just all right. Well, Ron's checked back in. You play Ole Miss. Kiffin will go for a TD up by 70. Absolutely. He was going for TD 0-0. He could have just taken the 3 and gotten the lead and pretty much known that he was going to win that game because he has too much offense. But they always seem to find a way with Kiffin where they're right there. And it looks like they're going to win some big games, and then they're right there and they don't get it done. So interesting. But he's an offensive mind, no doubt about it. So college football predictions from everybody. Well, if anyone wants to, we know where Marty stands on the Penn State Notre Dame game. Jordan, Penn State Notre Dame. Now your dad may be listening because you've told me that he's a big Penn State fan.
Yeah.
Now your friend Ian that you work with every day, he may be listening.
Okay.
He's
Well,
a big Notre Dame fan.
did I not say? I said. So as a growing up,
you're hedging here. You seem like you're getting
growing up. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. As growing up a Penn State fan, I obviously want Penn State to win.
Okay.
However, like I said this yesterday, do I think it'll be a tough game? Yes, and I think Notre Dame could win.
Could win. Hedging your bets. Could win.
I think Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame has a better chance of winning.
Okay. But you're I get it. You're walking the line.
In my opinion.
There you go.
Because Penn State screws up a lot.
Ooh, Marty jumping in. Here you go. Notre Dame versus Texas for the championship.
I don't think Texas beats Ohio State.
I'll tell you what. Ohio State has looked phenomenal in their first 2 games.
I don't think that Texas beats Ohio State.
All right. I don't either. I think Ohio State probably wins that game.
And I honestly wouldn't I wouldn't want it to be Ohio State, Penn State for the Natty.
Why not?
Because Penn State will lose.
No, you don't know that. Penn State or Ohio State lost to Oregon and then beat them. Could be the same situation if Penn State plays Ohio State. Could be.
Now, if Penn State beat Ohio State in the national championship, I think my dad would probably cry.
Let's see. Ron's checking back in. It'd be great to have Ohio State national champion, knowing they haven't beat us since 8th grade picnic. There you go. He's getting the Michigan shots in, and why not? That's the that's the thing. We were talking to Mike Valley Converting. We were asking him. He said, yeah, I was having a conversation the other day. Is it okay to lose to Michigan but then win the national championship? Can you live with that?
Right.
He basically, maybe I misheard him, but I think he said, no, that's not okay. I'd rather beat Michigan. And, which if you're an Ohio State fan, probably the call, especially when you haven't beaten them in a while. So anyways, but they don't have to worry. We're worried. We have 2 games left for the semifinals, and it's Notre Dame taking on Penn State in Miami. I would just like to go to Miami, not worry about the game. You guys can all go to the game. I'll go find my own problems in Miami, which are easy enough to find. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. And then Texas and Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl game played at AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. I really wish it was at the actual Cotton Bowl, but, that facility's unbelievable. But I will say this, if you're an Ohio State fan, could you imagine ever in your lifetime, even if you're not an Ohio State fan, you go to the Rose Bowl, you win the Rose Bowl championship, then you could win the Cotton Bowl championship? There are people that you get to play in one of those games in their lifetime. They're thrilled. Right. You could win both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That would be something. Or for Notre Dame, because they played in the Sugar Bowl, they go and they have a chance to win the Orange Bowl. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. And then I'm not sure what Penn State played at home, and then they played where? Where'd they play? I can't remember. Was it the Peach Bowl or what? I don't know what it was that Thursday.
Wait.
They got gypped. If you're looking for the big bowl, or they played in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which again, the great bowl game, but it's the 5th major, really. It's Cotton Bowl. Although the Cotton Bowl really fell off. It was like you had the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Cotton Bowl. Those were the big 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Fiesta Bowl showed up, and the Cotton Bowl kind of fell off. It didn't keep up with its stadium. So anyways, Notre Dame, Penn State, Thursday, and then what, Friday for Ohio State and Texas?
Yes.
Ron checking back in. Can the Buckeyes handle the Texas hometown crowd?
That's true.
Yeah, I think they can.
But yeah,
it's just the crowd.
But will Matthew McConaughey be there?
Can anybody handle him? Yeah,
he'll be there.
Oh, absolutely. Was he at the game the other day?
I don't know. I think he was. I might have seen a video.
He was going incognito. Maybe he thought to himself, you know what? I don't want to be.
Maybe he thought he was like he thought he was like.
Yeah. But they still almost lost to Arizona State.
Yeah.
That was a good finish. All right. So we have that. Now, this weekend, National Football League takes over again for locally here in the Ohio Valley. The big thing is the Steelers. Will they win the division? They need the Ravens to lose, and they need to beat Cincinnati. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Marty doing his best impersonation. I'm trying to help him out. He's doing the writing. I'm doing the reading. If you don't know, all right, by Matthew McConaughey, you need to look it up. I think he said that was his first line in the movies. First time he uttered words in the movies. May have been that line. So you have this week Steelers trying to win the division. The Ravens, they need to lose to Cleveland at home Saturday afternoon. Do not see that happening.
The Ravens losing?
Yeah, no, not to the Browns. I'm sorry.
You never know.
No. The Browns have already said I think they're going to play 2 quarterbacks. If I'm Myles Garrett, or if I'm the coaching staff and GM for the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, my best defensive player, best player on the team, he's not playing. I don't need him getting hurt in a meaningless game. Ron says, the Steelers starters sit knowing the Ravens won before kickoff? That's a great question.
That is a good one.
That's a great question. Now, I can't...
Because if they win, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they can't win the division.
Yeah.
They can't win the division. But then...
If the Ravens win, it doesn't...
If the Ravens
win and the Steelers...
See, the Steelers want to basically finish 5th or 6th to play Houston. So and it's something with the Chargers. If the Chargers,
we've been trying to look this up.
We had this figured out the other day,
and now,
but that's a great question, Ron. But I think here's the deal. This is what you're going to hear from Coach Tomlin. We're playing to win.
We need to win.
Playing to win. You play to win the game.
If the Steelers and the Ravens win, the Steelers would be the number 5 seed and play
Houston.
Yes.
The Steelers need to win.
They need to win. Bottom line,
to win the game. Because somehow, if they finished,
because they could also play the Chargers, but
they could also play the Ravens in round 1 too.
Yeah,
at Baltimore. I don't know if everyone says, "Oh, they beat the Ravens. They're always good games." I don't know if you want that in the first game.
No,
Houston
I think the Steelers just need to win.
Yeah,
and that's that.
Now, are you going to the game?
No.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be crazy cold. Wind chills like 10.
I will
10
be
degrees.
if I go to the game. I would be miserable unless someone is letting me sit in a box. No.
All right, Marty with a good point. Need the win heading into the playoffs. I think so too.
Yeah.
And I'll throw this out there. If they lose to Cincinnati at home, and then they lose to the Ravens, Houston, whoever, especially Houston, because everyone thinks Houston's hot trash right now.
They are.
So because they have injury, they have all kinds of stuff going on there. But if they lose both of those games, they would end the season on a 5-game losing streak. And I know Coach Tomlin just signed a contract extension, and I like Coach Tomlin. I think he's a great coach. But is it time to make a change? If they were to lose it, now if they win, they could win the last game, win the first playoff game, and I think most people go, all right, they got it pointed in the right direction.
Right, because we would finally win a playoff game.
What do you expect the Steelers to do every year? Win the Super Bowl, right? That's the goal.
That's the goal, but does it happen? No.
Huh?
I said that's the goal, but does it happen? No.
No, it hasn't happened for a while. Last time it happened, I was working in Pittsburgh. So it was a while ago.
Not very good.
But I agree with Marty. I think they need to win heading into the playoffs, and then I think they need to win that playoff game.
They have to win the playoff game.
Absolutely, because then the season will be over.
I know, but they haven't won a playoff game.
I know, it's been forever. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Can they win? What do we expect to have happen? What are you expecting Saturday night against Cincinnati, a team that has to win?
I
to go to the playoffs.
I don't want to answer this
question. And I will
question.
say this: if somehow
I think they're going to win.
If Cincinnati gets into the playoffs, Joe Burrow MVP. Stop it! She's making faces about Joe Burrow. Come on.
No, I know, but you hate to like him.
I mean, he's been sensational. Sensational. He's been that good. And without him, there's no way they get back into the whole thing. And his offensive line. This is why
also being a college football fan stinks because you love him in college.
Yeah.
But then he plays for the Bengals. As a Steelers fan, you can't you
can respect him. You can respect him. Don't have to like him, but you can respect him. All right. Marty says they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while. That's way too long. Now, I remember, the Penguins, and they haven't won a Stanley Cup. And it's been 10, 15 years when Crosby showed up and everybody was going crazy because they hadn't won since the first two with Lemieux in the early 90s. And I thought, they just won two more and then they won another one. And it's like, it's hard to win championships. I don't want to say anything, but Pittsburgh's spoiled. When you really think about it,
yeah.
I mean, well, other than the Pirates right now,
yeah.
But I mean, they have a World Series title back in '79. They won World Championships, so everybody knows what's that like. Well, maybe younger folks don't, but expectations are always high, which is great. You want to have expectations. You don't want to have low standards. You want to have expectations. So we'll see what happens with that. Marty, Ron, I need you both to check in on this. National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day. How do we feel about that? I like them. Whenever you try them. They're pretty good. Jordan again making a face. Not really thrilled with the chocolate covered cherries. Nope. Not even a comment on that one.
I like cherries, but I don't think I would like chocolate covered cherries.
Oh, they're pretty good. Yeah, you get the little sweet and the little bitter it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you get that. Jordan's not buying. Then just a couple birthdays to mention. A couple people that are still hanging with us. Got to see a World Series game in '79. Ooh. Did they win or lose that game? Because that one went 7 against the Baltimore Orioles. I watched it on my TV back in Connecticut. All right. Not a fan of chocolate covered cherries. All right. Marty's in with Jordan on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What else?
I'm an island of my own. All right. And then a couple of actors that, Victoria Principal played Pamela Barnes on Dallas. Huge television show. She was born in 1950 on this date, January 3rd. And Mel Gibson, born in 1956. Mad Max, Lethal Weapon actor. Braveheart, William Wallace. And Marty said they won. So that must have been awesome. And Ron says, chocolate cherry kisses. All right. Like it. Now, the thing is, I will say that I want to give you a movie. If you want to see a Mel Gibson movie, a Christmas movie that's just a little bit out there. I'm not going to tell you what the plot line is, but you figure it out. But it's just a little weird. It's like you don't expect it. It's called The Fat Man. So Mel Gibson's your lead actor, called The Fat Man. It's a Christmas movie, so you can probably put together he plays Santa Claus. Not necessarily the traditional pick to play Santa Claus, Mel Gibson, but then the way the storyline goes and how the movie all unfolds. I was sitting there watching this going, what is going on? What have they done with Santa? The whole thing, this is crazy. But it actually wasn't bad. It took me a little while to get my brain around it, but after I did, I was like, okay, all right. So The Fat Man, if you want to watch that, Mel Gibson, The Fat Man. It's interesting. It's definitely different. Jordan, I think that's it. Do you have anything you want to add?
I think we
covered it all.
Yeah.
I think Marty with the big announcement of the day that they won. He went to a World Series game in 1979, and the Pirates won the whole thing.
So it sounds like Marty needs to be.
Yeah, Marty needs to go. Whoever his team is, he needs to be there because he's going to help win. And then Ron, I think, with the question of the day: do the Steelers sit their starters if the Ravens win before kickoff?
No, because they still need to win.
Yeah, they still need to win, but you don't want to chance it in. TJ Watt, he gets hurt in that last game. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know. as Marty would say, all right, all right, all right. All right, everybody. That's about all the time we have for today's 9-minute Phill-Up, which went 31 minutes. So traditional timing here at the 9-minute Phill-Up. Again, want to thank everybody at Valley Converting for sponsoring the 9-minute Phill-Up. I want to thank Marty and Ron for joining in. Greatly appreciate it. Wish everybody a great weekend, and hopefully your team wins. I don't know who your team is, but hopefully they win, because that'll make you happy. All right, everybody, remember the 2 rules. Have fun and always try your best. Have a great weekend, and be safe out there, everybody. And if you're in the Ohio Valley this weekend, there's going to be snow. It's going to be sloppy. Be careful driving. Make sure you're staying safe.